we have some very special guests today, Vicky and Alexis from Part of the Theory. Where did you guys come from? How did this band come together?
We're from Greece, Athens, Greece.
We have some years behind. We build the thing.
We all are greedy. We all always want something more and something more and something more. You have to get your hands dirty. A high five on the camera.
Wow, that's really cool.
I'm pushy. Can we erase, like, cut all my answers and just keep yours?
Have you guys seen the animated TV series Arcade? Yeah. So the image of upper and lower class, the way you made it in your video, instantly reminded me of that. The fact that the main character who actually moves from the lower class to the upper class is called Vi, which is basically short for Vicky, is perfect. So how do you feel about that comparison and about the fact that someone would subconsciously just make the connection with that show?
I love it.
You love it.
I love it. We love our game. We actually love animation and anime and all the good stuff. So I have made this connection too. It wasn't like the thought of doing the same thing. I think I wrote the story before the second season or so. But I also made the connection and I love it. Like, I think that I'm taking some ideas from movies, subconsciously or consciously, and I take also from philosophers like Plato, a Greek philosopher, wrote about Phileo cave, and it talks about people that live underground and never get to see the actual world. They only see shadows that are passing. And he also says that sometimes some of them are chained to their places, but when someone comes and tells them to help them to get out, they're like, no, we're good here. So it has something from that. It has something from Matrix. It has something from Arcane. It has something, like, I always feel very enchanted by the whole worlds. And Arcane, it talks for pretty much what we want to talk about for Famous Mammon. Like,
okay, with that out of the way, I want to get more into the composition and creative process and all of that. So first thing I'm curious about is all the orchestrations and the instruments, acoustic instruments and everything that's happening. How much of that is digital instruments? How much of it is real instruments? Like, is any of the acoustic stuff we're hearing things someone actually played, or are they, I don't know, some sound effects library and just the band is recorded?
Perfect. So the only recorded real in the studio is the drums, guitar, bass, and vocals, plus backing vocals, choir, everything. All the other stuff, strings, brass, trumpets from the brass. The first instrument that played the lead melody in the intro is Santura, I think, say it in English, I don't know.
It's a folk instrument that it's Turkish, but actually we have it in Greece too, because I don't know if you know Greek and Turkish history, like 400 years or so we were under Turkish, like
it's a neighborhood country.
Yeah, so we have many like similar instruments and melodies and stuff. So
yes, this is the opening lead instrument.
And everything
is
everything except the band. It's
from PC with VST libraries. I don't know if you know about
he made everything.
MIDI world and something like that.
Yeah, he made everything. I've seen him like playing with the mouse to make like the bow. How do you call it? The bow of the violin.
Creation of the dynamics of the bow to make it even and even more realistic.
To make it realistic. And I think that people that play in orchestras and all of that environments, they can understand that it's not real. But for me, I couldn't like understand that any of them is not real, because he sits like for hours and hours and hours and hours to make it.
Okay, so I really respect that. I listen to a lot of musicians that use samples and backing tracks, and every now and then when I hear something and I'm like, I actually can't tell if this is real instruments or digital instruments, that means you did a good job. So big congrats on that. That's amazingly well done. Okay, that almost looked like a let's Okay, and for writing the song, the band, everything, you also pretty much write all of that and then everyone else just comes in and records, or is it more of a collaborative process of we all work together to make the song?
No, we're more jam band. We do rehearsals. The ideas sometimes come from a riff or a part that I or we have made in the PC.
Yeah.
But the whole thing structured in the rehearsal room.
Yeah.
For example, the grooving bass riff is jamming from our bass player, written in real time in the studio.
Yeah, it was like, and we were like, okay, bitch. Okay.
And the verse, for example, is also in the studio, and then we post-product we
make the fixes, and then he starts to write the whole orchestra things, the counter melodies.
Every part is also different. Some parts we can come from the PC and then to rehearsal and improve it, make
it more real and more changing.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes he starts and writes it at the studio, his own home studio, and then he brings the ideas to us, and we start make changes that fits in the band members. And sometimes it goes like jamming. We are a band that started writing from jamming. Like I improvise a lot. And it's really easy for me like to write lyrics on the go, and guys
we like it very much to let ourselves to play in a rehearsal studio and feel the vibes together and make something from nothing sometimes.
Yeah.
Other times is more how to say, the more focused to the something we already have as a driven force.
Yeah, but am I gonna do that like that? Am I gonna do that? Yes, I'm gonna do that. Am I gonna do that? Yes, I'm gonna do that. Am I gonna do that? Yes, I'm gonna do that. Am I gonna do that? Yes, I'm gonna do that. Am I gonna do that? I actually wrote in the studio to annoy him, because he was like working. He's very focused when he's working. He's kind of like leads us through things to tell one story. And he was working something along with the bass player Stefanos or Yorgos, the drummer, and I just felt like the rascal that I truly are. And as I was jamming, I just started like do that. Am I gonna do that? Yes, I'm gonna do that. Am I gonna do that? Yes, I'm gonna do that. To get his attention, and just like, I know him, and he was like, he ruined it for me. He was like, okay, this is good. We're giving him.
So he was like, I'm busy. And you're like, poke, poke, give me attention.
All the time.
All the time. I mean, I'm a singer. I need attention to give.
Yeah, you're a diva. You're gonna when you get famous, you're gonna fire your entire band and then realize you actually hate them.
No.
It will be the downfall of part of the theory.
Yeah.
No, I hope you don't do that. Keep
No,
your...
I would never. Only if I went to Eurovision, if you like, no.
Okay. I want to talk to you a bit about live performances. So the only live stuff that I could find with you on YouTube are from a festival called School Wave from 2022 and 2023. The 2023 video I found was a 2-minute and 40-second version of Famished Mammon. So was that as big as the song was back then, or did you just present a shortened version?
We have 15 or 20 minutes.
We have a short time to play on stage, and we want to make something like a trailer for the upcoming release. We know from that time that we're gonna release Famished Mammon as a single. So we make something a little bit shorter.
So we could play it and fit it in the program, and also like have a nice video of the Famished Mammon, and also these are then 5 fans, I think, that Famished Mammon would be released within the next or...
We didn't know something about the release.
Yeah, we knew that we would do the release. We didn't know like how fast, because money. Yeah, with these there are 5 fans, they were very happy about it.
Are they happy about the result now? Your 5 fans?
Yeah, they never miss a gig. They're always there. And actually they came to us to our last show, and they were like, it's worth the wait, because they were waiting from the very first time that we did School Wave. School Wave is a youth festival that you can get in with auditions, but without having any like how do you say,
released music?
Yeah, released music or anything.
You have to have only a cover, like a cover.
Yeah, or your
own songs.
But you have to play them like live. You get there, you play for them live, and they're like, it's a very good platform, School Wave. Everyone, it's a very good platform that helps young artists that cannot get anywhere. And they were waiting on us, the 5 fans. They were waiting on us after the first School Wave, that I think it was in 2021 or 2022. 2022. And in the last gig we did, they came to us and they were like, okay, it was worth it. We waited a lot, but it was worth it. And it made my heart feel like so warm. Because when they're waiting on you, you can feel it. Like when they believe on you and they're waiting on you and they support you, like you can feel it, and you sometimes put pressure on yourself to give them the best that you can. And it was very rewarding to hear that.
Yeah, I imagine it's gotta be a very special moment, especially after years and years of work. And it's basically your first ever official release. So it's also like, whether this one is received well or not can create certain confidence or certain fears about how future releases are gonna be received.
Yeah. Both of those emotions. Both of those emotions.
Okay, so you also mentioned School Wave 2022, and I also found a video from that where you performed the song called Vikings. What exactly is Vikings? Is it a song you're planning to release? Is it something?
Yeah,
it's from the album.
It's a song where is the first time we hear our sound.
Yeah, it's the first time. No, it's the first song that we wrote, and when we listened to it, we were like, "This is our sound." Like the very, very, very first song that we found who part of the theory are.
In fact, our first song was funk.
Yeah, don't listen to him. It is not. We are very proggy.
It's funk prog. It has
it's funk prog.
time signatures 6/4 or anything.
Yeah. It was very weird.
The first time we find all the prog funk then back then.
Yeah, but Vikings was like the first song that we wrote. And when we listened to it, we were like, okay, this is who we are. This is, it's more avant-garde and also more, I don't know, repetitive. Not more.
More experimental, I think. Not so maybe catchy as Famous Mammon, or I don't know.
Yeah.
It's more maybe the early years, I don't know.
It's
all the experimental crazy stuff we want to do.
Yeah, we were doing when we were searching our sound. It has everything, like, and this gives a nice like push for our album, because it is one of the songs from our album, and the whole album was written like years and years before Famous Moment, and it's experimental as fuck.
Okay, so the fact that the whole album is already written is getting me very, very excited, and experimental AF is definitely something that gets me hyped about it, because I do enjoy progressive and weird music for sure. So I'm really looking forward to how all of that is gonna go. One other thing I want to ask you about is your writing music for a Netflix show called Maestro in Blue. I found the song you made on Spotify. On Spotify, it's only 1 minute and a bit.
It's for a scene.
It was for a scene. Like they were looking for a young band. For a young band.
I think the main character. The main character of the series is a singer. And they want to be in a band. Yeah, they wanted him to find a band in Athens. The storyline, I don't know if you ever seen Netflix, is a Greek show.
I watched the first episode when trying to figure out what's up with this song. And then my Netflix subscription decided to start getting buggy and whatever, so I couldn't keep watching.
Yeah, you don't have to watch it. It's a nice show, but you don't have to watch it. It's about like Greek culture on the islands, because we have many people on the islands. And it's about this guy that grows up on the islands, and he wants to be a singer. Also, he's a member of the LGBTQ family, and in the islands, people are very backwards. So he gets to Athens, and he finds bands. Yeah, he finds us
as a band
that we're playing, and we have not a lead singer. So the director, Christopher Papakaliatis, he wanted the band to actually be a band, like the band that the main character would find. He wanted it to be actually a band.
We play in a song.
Yeah, and he wanted us also to write the scene, the music that would play in the scene before the main character would find us, and the song that we would play when he would find us. So we wrote like that 1 minute.
1.5, I don't know.
Yeah, because it's all written on the scene. It's what he asked from us. It's very like directed.
A specific style and aesthetic he liked.
Yeah, that it was asked from the director.
So you didn't have the freedom to go experimental and wacky like you do when you write your own songs.
We have sent our songs to choose from.
Yeah, we sent them to the director.
Yes, and they make a discussion about how he would like to be.
Yeah, he told us that our songs are very in a kind way, he said that our songs are very wacky and grande, and he used these words that were like, I cannot use your music.
And he liked something more like No Surprises is the reference.
Yeah, he was like, I want something like Radiohead, but soft and
more
pop. Rock pop. It's not rock. It's not. He said rock, but he didn't mean rock because he sent us like some examples of what he wanted, and he didn't want it rock. He wanted what you heard. But it was a fun experience because we work in theater. We write for people in theater plays, and they always let us write whatever we want. Like we have massive freedom. They only say to us, we wanted to be sad, we wanted to be happy, and this has like a limit, but is a very like however I want to make it limit. This experience with the Netflix series was a completely new one because we had to fit into very, very, very specific limits, and it was nice as an experience to see how we would work within those spaces.
So in a way, I'm not mad at that because I can get that if you're making a movie or a TV show and the story and the characters go in a specific way, then you need the band scene that shows up to not be completely out of context and to actually fit with the story. But I also would have thought that it makes sense for someone who's looking for a band to find something wacky and all over the place and have that make an impression more so than something generic. Personal opinion. It would have made the story more believable and realistic because in the real world there are weird people that like weird stuff. Last thing I want to get into, the future of part of the theory. So we know we're waiting for an album. Do you have an estimate on when it's supposed to drop if bad luck doesn't get in the way again? Are you planning live shows? Are we looking at more videos, more singles? Anything you can share at this point?
It's going to be within the next year.
And we're going to be not a regular album presentation.
Yeah, it will be like, we don't want to give a lot, but it's not going to get presented in the normal way
of a single or and then the drop of the album or something like that. It will be more conceptual and more circle thing.
You will get challenged a lot. It's our avant-garde era and our experimental era, so it has a lot of unconventional melody structures.
More prog.
Also, when my mother heard of it, she said to me, it will be hard for people to listen to. So good luck with that.
Bigger in minute songs.
Bigger in minute songs. But can I say something like they all last 9 minutes, and it's not it's not on purpose. And actually there are like 3 main songs that last 9 minutes, and then there are like smaller like themes we wrote between the years.
Bridges, transitions, something like that.
But numerology wise, we have 3 songs with the number 9, like it's 999. I love that, and we will play with that. I don't know yet how. I searched about the number 999, and it means in numerology the completion of a circle, and I love that because it's actually a circle that closes for us because it's the first era of the band, and actually we have a lot more music we want to share with you guys, like a second album, an EP. We have so much music written, and to get shared with you, we have first to like finish this circle, the 999. I don't know how yet we will share it with you.
Okay, so if you're part of the theory now, then by the time the circle is complete, you're gonna be the entire theory.
No, because part of the theory refers not only to us, but to you too. Because it refers to what we're feeling when we are in a show. Like when we're in a show together, when we play on the stage and you are there, the life is completely different when we are playing for another audience. So it's like we are part of a conspiracy altogether. We're creating a world that only we experience like right now, and we will never experience it ever in our lives. And this is so much because we are all a part of a theory that we're creating right now.
And every song is a world.
Yeah.
We think it about like that.
Yeah, worlds we're creating first on our own, and then they get completed by you from your interpretations.
So the rest of the theory is the audience and their reception of the music. That is so cool. I love that concept. And that's great because it actually dawned on me that I had forgotten to write down to ask you how you came up with a name for the band, and then that got answered. So that's great. Well, I think that is all I had to ask you. Do you have any closing remarks for me or for the people watching?
We would like to thank you for what you're doing for the community of smaller musicians. Yeah, we actually love the work that you put into it. Like, we can see how much work you give into it and how much soul, like, you're not reacting to it just for the reaction. You're actually reacting to it. Like when I saw the whole reaction, I was like, this is so genuine. Like I feel that person.
She's reacting to
us.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was so beautiful. And we would like to thank the Windmill full of corpses that does this, because it's big for us.
Y'all are almost making me feel like I have a soul. Chill. Well, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you guys. I wish you the best of luck with the release of the album and with completing the circle and everything that you have ahead. And I look forward to being the other side of the theory for as long as this part of the theory keeps on going. And to everyone watching, I hope you're gonna join on my side of the theory as well. And thank you very much for watching this interview. We hope you enjoyed your stay, and we'd love to see you back at the Windmill very soon. Corpse is out.